And now here we are at the lawn, Pebble Beach. So incredibly civilized, extremely crowded. It used to be this way. And it'll be tough to get shots of the cars, and they're broken down. There's maybe 200 cars here, and they're broken down into maybe 20 classes or so. This car does deserve a look. This is the SLR number 722. I've seen this car here before, and it's the one, of course, that Dennis Jenkinson and Sterling Moss won the Mille Miglia in 1955 with an average speed of close to 100 miles an hour. So one of the most valuable cars in the world. Don't know what it would bring. It's in the Mercedes Museum. It'd be at least $25 million for that. And here we go. These are the world's most beautiful, best prepared, most desirable, and most expensive car. And I don't think I've seen a Bentley any better looking than this one. It's just gorgeous. But you won't win it at Pebble Beach just because you have a pretty car. And just because the crowd admires it or whatever. So the judging here is extremely rigorous by mark experts, and where originality is extremely important. So if this car had 3 different bodies put on it, or it doesn't have the original chassis, or the original engine wasn't with it, or the coatings were incorrect, or it was somehow altered in some way, you're not going to win at Pebble Beach. So it's got to be the combination of the right car. No post-war cars ever won it, only ever pre-war cars. It's got to be the right car, it's got to be elegant, and it's got to be correct. So, and judging for best of show, and this is the first car I've looked at, but it looks to me like it's a contender right here, because it's got got everything going for it. You just can't tell though, because as a spectator, when you show up at Pebble, you can guess at the best of show, but unless you know the provenance of the car, unless you know everything that's happened to it, unless you're privy to the documentation of it, which you're not, then really you don't have enough information to be able to judge it. You can only say that it's just exquisite. Aside from the best of class and best of shows, there's also a bunch of other awards, most elegant, etc., etc. So if a car is incorrect in some way, it could still win one of the other prizes. I've seen some of these cars racing at Monterey, and this is the GTO. Of course, it's very crowded here, but here's the GTO collection. So that's the unrestored one. We got a good look at that at Monterey before. And
well, the car was previously owned by.
I'll probably take most of my memory card to go through all these cars. It's just so crowded here. But you get a feel for the event and a feel for the setting, which is pretty special. So, we've got a long line of GTOs. Looks like about 25 cars or something like that. And it looks like they've been judged already. You can tell by the green ribbons. You don't know what award they got. It could be a first, second, or third in class, or it could be one of the other awards. There's like a road and track award, and there's a couple others. But we'll find out who wins the best of show. Never even heard of this before. An Austro Daimler. Interesting. Lots of Daimlers, of course, and maybe. And the body is by Armbuster. Interesting car. I can only. I'm not even going to hypothesize. I have no idea what an Austro Daimler is. Beautiful car though, and one of my favorite cars, and definitely a candidate for a best of show, is these Talbot Lego Falaschi and what is it again? Fagoni and Falaschi bodied teardrop coupes. So this is a T135. Some of the headlights inset, some of the headlights exposed. But these are some of the most wonderful Art Deco French pre-war cars. This one is a sunroof, which is unusual, I think. Not many do. You can see the badge here, Fagoni and Falaschi. I don't even know if I've pronounced that right, but absolutely spectacular car. These are at auction. There's been a few that have sold in the last few years, and they're in the $3, $4, $5 million. Just exceptionally beautiful car. I remember a story about one of these, and it won the best of show at another concours, and they painted it. It was a beautiful aubergine, which many are. And to put it in Pebble, the guy actually had to restore the car, even though it was a concours winner, because it had an exotic interior, and the correct color was silver. And he actually spent another $500,000 on the car, restoring it just to enter Pebble, which he won. That gives you an idea of some of the money and the will to win from some of these extremely wealthy collectors. And this is like a wow car. This is a Voisin, French car. They only made a few, I don't know, 100 of them or something like that. Look at this. So, and it has the most extraordinary hood ornament that's on any car. I just love this. Look at this. Look at this. And a Voisin won in I think 2005. It was a black car. But look at the interior on this machine. Oh my goodness. How absolutely wonderful. And you can see that this would have had the hood, which would have retracted into the back. And oh, extraordinary interior. Maybe it would give you a headache after a while. I've never seen a pattern this rich on a Pebble car. But if the guy's serious about preparing the car for Pebble, it would be the original fabric. He would have recreated it.
The original type fabric that Voisin's used.
Yeah.
This is a new bolt in it, but it is the same
Oh,
fabric.
the car is wonderful.
It's heavily woven damaged type fabric like you'd have in airplane seats, because the guys made airplanes.
Right. The origin of the company had a bunch of aviation influence.
Right.
And there was something to do with Citroën in this too, wasn't it? The stylist.
No, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Can't remember.
No, I think it was presented at the same time there was a Citroën presented in the 1934 Concours.
The designer of the Citroëns came from Voisin. Yeah, that was it. Anyway, what a terrific car. I just love this car.
With another Concours conversation here at the 61st.
Yeah, so there we go. Another candidate, if it's correct, and if it's
Ferrari 250 GTO. I'm here with Chip Connor from Hong Kong.
it's got the provenance and the documentation and so forth, then one can't help think that this has a shot at something. And look at the details of the lights and the door handles and the ashtray and the textured aluminum skid plate for the floorboards and the pedals. Absolutely extraordinary car. I just love it. When you sell a new car, everybody always wants black or silver or white, and if you give them any interior but beige or black or gray, all of a sudden they say, "Oh no, what are we going to do? We can't have that." But at Pebble, you see cars that are black and they have a green interior, and you see all kinds of different combinations of interior exterior. Here's a two-tone car with a light sort of fawn green upper and a green interior, and they look fabulous. So you just can't tell me that cars have to be so boring as to all have black. And it's hard to argue with the elegance of the Bugatti. That's a Type 57. There was a similar car in yellow that just sold at RM with the same sort of two-tone design, and these cars all have great histories, great provenance, and particularly you know, the details, especially in the engine. So let's try to go look at if we can get through here. Let's go through.
Thank you very much, Chip Connor.
And we'll have a look at the engine bay, and we can see the engine turn dash and the design on the rocker cover as well, and just a magnificent combination of mechanical beauty and performance. You can see the supercharger down there, and that's the steering box, and a really lovely car. And this is another Talbot coupe. I'm not sure if this is considered a teardrop or not, but it has a body by Fagoni and Falaschi. Beautiful car. Another Bugatti. This is the Type 57, and I mean, look at the engine bay in it. Magnificent. And this one has a great canvas top that rolls up.
Where's the one you brought?
Wonderful car. And look how well it's done. This Ferrari, it's a 275 GTB. It's getting judged right now. And so the owner of the car has the hood up, and then there's all these fairly serious looking judges, and they really know their stuff. I mean, the cars will get docked for just about anything. You know, correct. Actually, you know what? This is wrong. That's Alain De Cadenet, the writer and former racer and aviator, and it looks like he's getting filmed here for some TV program, and he knows the car extremely well, of course. So they're going through it. And so yes, so those DCZs, those carburetors, etc., etc. Every little bit of it will be dissected. Every decal, every coating, every routing of every wire, everything on it. So 275 GTB, beautiful car, $1 million car. A nice line of the GTOs. You can see that. Actually, it's funny. I think that house sold for 25 million, but each of those cars is worth 25 million. So you could buy most of the 17-mile drive for the cost of this whole cars there. So this is interesting. It's a Ferrari, and looks like a one-off concept car designed by Pininfarina. And I'm not sure what this is, but I'm sure it's the only one like it. Certainly I've never seen anything close to it. Looks like one of the bigger engine cars. You know, they used to have plaques in front of them describing what all the cars were, but they haven't done that this year. I guess you got to look in the catalog. This is a lovely car. So this is a Lancia B24S America, and a really civilized classic car, especially for a 50s car. So disc brakes, it had the first V6 engine, 5-speed transmission, supple suspension, and this car is Mille Miglia eligible, so you can take it in the events, but also be comfortable in the car. Because a lot of these early race cars and 50s sports cars are real monsters, and they certainly don't suffer traffic and stop go really well. Often the clutches are just designed to be dumped, but this is, I think, again, here's another black and green car. So don't tell me black and green don't go together. It's fabulous, and every detail correct. And this, I think, is just a particularly attractive design, and it's a car that you could get a whole lot of use of. Now these, of course, have rocketed up in price, and you'll need to spend about $500,000 to or more for this car. You'll have to spend $500,000 for one of these. There's a convertible version which doesn't have that wraparound screen, which has a more conventional flat windscreen and a more substantial top and roll-up windows. And those are a little bit cheaper, but they're still about $300,000. There's a coupe version as well, and they start at about $150,000.